Hello friends and welcome back to my channel, A Little Geek, A Little Chic. Today we are going to talk about my 5-star predictions for 2021. So grab yourself your beverage of choice and let's talk books. Okay, so full disclosure, it is minus 50 degrees Celsius outside with the wind chill. So I have on this super puffy sweater, and sometimes I think I get like fuzz on my face from it, but it's cold. I'm gonna wear it. It makes me feel cozy. Let's talk books. I'm planning on reading some or a lot of books this year from my current wall of books that I already have, all of my backlist titles, and I thought I'd go through some with you that I plan on reading at some point this year that I thought would be a 5-star prediction that I expect to like and rate 5 stars. So, without further ado, let's get into them. And let me know in the comments down below if you have any of these titles that you are also planning to read in 2021. Perhaps we could do a buddy read. So, leave that in the comments down below, and we can see if we can make that work. Let's start with my backlist titles and some from 2021 that I've picked up recently. Obviously, I'm just going to do physical copies that I have right now, and the ones that I have most anticipated books of the year, obviously that haven't come out yet. They will not be in this video, but just know that I expect to rate them very highly. Maybe not all 5 stars, but I am very much anticipating them and do expect them to be a solid read. But here from my library is what I have right now that I think could be a 5-star. We're going to start with The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Sorry about the glare there if you can't see it. This book focuses on our main character who is a bridesmaid at her sister's wedding, and her sister always wins everything. She's super lucky. So she's won the event venue, she's won the dress, I'm pretty sure they won the honeymoon. Like, she won this whole grand package. But unfortunately, her and all of the other guests at the wedding have come down with food poisoning, which makes her unable to go on her honeymoon. Cue sister bridesmaid. Her sister, the bride, has asked her to take her place on the honeymoon so it doesn't go to waste because it's non-refundable. And to accompany her, they have selected one of the groomsmen who they don't like each other. So it's one of those hate to love romances. I've heard nothing but great things about it. It's been on my shelf for quite some time. I'm looking forward to picking this up probably in the summer as like a beachy kind of a read, and I'm all here for it. Christina Lauren is like an auto-buy author for me, you guys. I just love her stuff. Or hers. There's 2 of them, Christina and Lauren. They are 2 authors and they write together, so hence the name Christina Lauren. The next book I find that I feel, it will be a 5-star, is A Man Called Ove, or is it Ove? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but it's by Frederick Bachman, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and I am highly, highly anticipating picking it up. And I know just from reading it, it gives me Up, like the movie Up with the grumpy old man who doesn't want to feel anything or anybody to bother him. And then the kid comes in, kind of ruins everything. That's the vibes I get from this book. And since I loved that movie, I think I will love this book. And I think it will be a 5-star. The next book on my list is one that I am picking up in February. And that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Mcquiston. This follows the first son, so the son of the president and the son of the monarchy. So the prince. And they don't like each other, but they have to be friendly for the media and the public. And as you can assume, since I'm picking it up in February, a romance ensues. If you want to hear more about this book, a little bit more about the story, it is in my February TBR video. But I anticipate this one to be a solid 5-star read from everything and I've heard about it and from all the people that have talked about it on BookTube over the past few years. I think I'm really going to like this one. I have an Indigo exclusive, as you can see the sticker. It's The Invisible Life of Addie Liberu. I do plan on taking that off, but sometimes they're a pain and I don't really want to bend my dust jacket. I've never actually looked at the inside of the cover. It's got some, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's just like pressed birds on the cover. Nothing too crazy. But this is about our main character, Addie Liberu, who makes a deal basically with, I don't know if it's the devil or like a demon, to basically have eternal life. And once she's done living and has had enough, her soul becomes his property. But there's a catch. The catch is every person she meets will not remember her once she leaves the room and comes back, or goes out of their sight and comes back. They don't know who she is. So nobody has any memory of her. So she gets all these experiences and gets to experience life, but it is a lonely one at best. Until one day she walks into a bookstore, I believe, and the person behind the counter knows who she is. And that sounds amazing. And that's all I need to know is bookstore, some kind of parallel dimensions, or like traveling around and experiencing life. And I just feel that this character is going to be just a really well-written character. V.E. Schwab has the most amazing writing style that I have read in a long time, and I'm very excited to pick this one up. So I think that's probably going to be a 5 out of 5 for me. I'm going to start putting these on the ground because I don't want to wreck them. The next is The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. Now, this is about, I believe, a lady who cleans houses and the most eligible bachelor in town. And she's cleaning this place, and she also kind of like pickpockets and steals things along the way. And she notices something interesting about this guy's house, and he may or may not have a wife who is upstairs. And I've been told it's kind of like a Jane Eyre-esque retelling, like a thriller version of a Jane Eyre mystery novel. I have not read Jane Eyre, but I've also heard that if you're expecting it to be like Jane Eyre and you go into it with that expectation, you're going to be a little bit disappointed, or you're not going to see the connection. So I have no idea if that's accurate or not, but I've just heard really good things about the book. Next on my list is, of course, You Have a Match by Emma Lord. This book, I just want to hug it. It gives me all the good feels. Again, another one that I'm hoping to pick up in the spring and summer. I feel like it's just going to be just a heartfelt, warm novel about a family finding out who they really are and coming together, and a teenager who obviously has had some experiences they didn't love, and against all odds has found themselves. That's what I expect this to be. I expect it to be a little bit more deep with the concept that she's discussing. Two sisters, same parents. One has been raised by the parents, the other one has not. And the one sister finds out about this sister and wants to know why. That's the gist I'm getting from the book, and I'm hoping that the family dynamic is not something simple. I'm hoping it's deep and the characters are a little bit deep but still relatable. And I read her first book, or her previous book, about Pepper and Jack and the rival family restaurants, and that is called Tweet Cute, and I read that last year, and it was one of my favorite books of 2020. So I have really high regards for this book, and I think it will be a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I have another backlist title, and that is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is another thriller author. I did read One by One by Ruth Ware last year as a buddy read with my friend Kim over on Bookshelf Bunny, and I liked this book a lot. It gave me kind of the Agatha Christie vibes, the murder-esque like thriller whodunit, but it was deeper and you got more backstory from the characters, and it didn't just end when you found out who done it. That's the best part about that book, and I really, really liked it. Some people didn't like it because they felt it was too business and economic heavy, but that was the point kind of the whole retreat these people were on, and I didn't mind hearing about the business and the retreat and all of their information. I thought it added something to the book, and I really felt invested in this app that they had and thought it was a great product. And honestly, I wish it was real because I would probably have it on right now. But this book features, I think it follows our main character who is a nanny at this house. And it is one of those smart houses where cameras, videos, everything's electronic, and follows you. And I think some strange paranormal style things start happening and she has to explain what happened and potentially gets in trouble with the law for it. I'm not 100% sure, but like with most thrillers, I don't like knowing a lot going into them. I like to be surprised by the premise, but that is what I know about this book. Maybe some paranormal-esque in this book, which I'm totally here for. So I'm going to pick this one up hopefully really soon and read this one and see what I think about this book, since I like the other one so much. I have a few more. Next on my list is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This book, I believe, follows our main character who is doing research, and there's this book that's basically history, and it's magical and it's whimsical, and apparently this book, all of a sudden when he's reading it, he finds out there's parts in it about him that he didn't know was in a book, and it's eerie, and who wrote this and how do they know things about him and his personal life, etc. So this sounds great. This is from the author of The Night Circus, and I read The Night Circus years ago, and I loved it, and it still stands to be one of my favorite books of all time. When I get a bigger library, my husband's promised me, more shelves, and I intend to pick that book up for my collection. I don't have it now because I did read it on ebook, and I just loved it so much. I need to get at least one physical copy of The Night Circus. It was amazing. It's about a traveling circus that pops up here and there. There's no method. There's no rhyme or reason. It's very magical. It's very mystical. And the circus isn't the only part of the story. There is parts of the story that talk about the circus, sure, but there's parts of the story that talk about the magic and the performers at the circus and who they're performing for, and some of the performers that maybe have a rivalry that they don't know about because of some bigger magicians at play. And it's just such a good book. I really, really liked it, and I'm really hoping to love this book just as much. I've heard the writing is very similar, which is great because this is Erin Morgenstern writes a very lyrical, poetic writing, and it just draws you in, and it's beautiful. So I'm hoping to get the same vibes from this book. I'm going to grab my last three from over here. Okay. Whew. This is quite the stack of predictions that I have already on my shelf, let alone the ones that I intend to pick up at some point this year. Kings of the Wild. Kings of the Wild is by Nicholas Eames, or Ames, I think it's Eames. And it is basically like watching reality TV, but in a fantasy world. So these guys are mercenaries, and they are famous for what they do or what they have done. But the thing is they have all retired and gotten older. And now they just are like your retired rock stars. They still have their groupies. They still have their people. They still have their followers. But they no longer are in the main spotlight, right? So kind of like your Mick Jaggers and your Steven Tylers or your Alice Coopers. And these guys have to get back together because something happens to one of the children of one of the group, this ragtag group, and they need to get back together to save the day and save this person's child. So they basically band back together to go one more round with the bad guy. And it just sounds fantastic, and I can't wait to get to it. I've heard it could be turned into a series with like some other books coming, which if it's as good as people I'm hearing, I am all for that. Second last book on my list is The Keeper of Lost Cities. Now, this is a middle grade book about, it's kind of like, it's been compared to Harry Potter-esque, and it's about a magical school and powers and individuals who are learning to use their abilities to save the school, go on different like adventures. And I've heard nothing but really good things about this. It's magical. It's cozy, and I'm all here for a little bit of the Harry Potter vibe in the winter. I do read middle grade also. I read YA and I read adult fiction because you know what? There's just some good messages in so many books, and there's some really good authors and writers out there that you wouldn't normally pick up if you kept yourself to one category. So I like to expand myself and read everything. That way too, I've read stuff from all genres, and when people ask me, hey, my niece likes this kind of stuff, what should she read? Hey, I got an idea. I read this book actually, and it's really good. And then you can help, direct your friends and parents to books for younger individuals. And finally, a book that I know is going to be one of my favorite books of the year, but I will not say there's going to be a 5-star prediction because, as I've said before, I don't really like to rate people's memoirs as a star rating because it's someone's personal life, and it's hard to rate someone's life, right? And their experiences because they experienced it, not me. So, no surprise to anyone, the Barack Obama book, A Promised Land, is on my most anticipated 5-star predictions, even though I'm probably not going to rate this one. But just assume it would be 5 stars of 2021. Very excited to get to this. She is a chunky book, over 600 to 700 pages. So doesn't look like that big from here, but man, it has heft. I'm assuming these pages are going to be biblical, aka really thin and slippery. So we'll see how that goes for me. But do plan on picking this one up, and I'm hoping to love it. So that is it for me and the books that I plan to rate 5 stars in 2021. Can't wait to see how they end up. Are they going to stay 5 stars? Or are they going to be like a flop and I didn't like them at all? Only time will tell. Like I said before, comment down below. Let me know which books from this list you're also planning to read, and maybe we can read them at the same time and discuss them together. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe for more content from me that will be coming very soon on this channel. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.